Hello and welcome to Talking Game. It's just finished. Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0 after extra time at Old Trafford in the FA Cup 5th round. Right, Gonzo, let's just skip ahead to half time, will we? What were you thinking at half time?
Well, just a terrible half of football, except from the defensive point of view. I didn't like the. We lacked any quality. Geo, as I fear, Jarmolenko can't play up front. Doesn't understand the offside rule. I thought it in the previous game actually when I saw him now. I see him come on up front. He just keeps on getting caught offside. This was no different. But I thought, I thought actually defensively we'd contained them remarkably well, and actually really frustrated them. I know we would relied on a couple of fantastic stops from Fabianski, but I never felt we were really getting a foothold in the game from an attacking point of view. And obviously, we lost Ogbonna. I was just, even at that stage, I was thinking, well, this is going to be difficult for Dawson here because his partners were dropping like flies. It was a really, really odd game for him. Brilliant at blocking the ball, which Fabianski should have had to make a lot more saves than he did. And I'm pretty sure the save count will be down. But it was a lot of times we were throwing our bodies in front of the ball, be it, Dawson, Ogbonna, Rice, Noble. All these guys were all every time they had a shot, they seemed to, sort of Man United shots were floundering on West Ham legs. So defensively, really good. But we couldn't pass and we just didn't have anyone to put their foot on the ball and pass it. We were atrociously poor at passing or attacking, basically.
Yeah, defensively, so a world-class save from Fabianski from that deflected header from Lindelof. Unfortunate with Ogbonna going off injured, just one of them things. Great block by him, but unfortunately the follow-through's got him and he had to go off. But on the ball, we were struggling to keep possession. There's 2 or 3 obvious culprits, but even the reliable ones, Souček, Soufal, thought they were struggling to do 10-yard passes to each other a little bit, and it was all a little bit nervy when we got it. Then we'd get it up to someone like Bowen or Yarmolenko, and they were almost playing an individual game, and they were not winning the individual game. Yarmolenko was struggling to find a teammate. Bowen was struggling to get the ball in the box, and they were just making poor decisions. It wasn't working. I wasn't keen on Yarmolenko up front for this fixture, and it sort of showed it. Fornals was too slow out on the left, and out of possession, fantastic. In possession, really poor in the first half. But we swapped up at half-time, Gonzo. Another forced substitution, Diop went off, so he used the opportunity to switch formation and go to sort of 3 at the back and 3 sort of 5-2, however you want to look at it. And what did you make of the second half?
Well, I felt like we were a better team. It seemed that way anyway. I thought Bowen was, let's be fair, let's get this right. First half, he's got to sort that out, Bowen, because the pass was on as well to Fornals. It was on, Geo. And again, he thought he would travel with a ball. It's unforgivable is too strong a word, but we're dealing with a game of football here, right? So I don't want to go too harsh with my language here, but Bowen has a consistent. Sorry, I know I forgot to mention this in the first half. Bowen has a consistent issue, which he keeps doing. He keeps travelling the ball too much and doesn't release it early enough. I expect the coaching staff to be working. There's got a lot going for him, an awful lot going for him, Bowen. But I expect the coaching staff to be working out these little flaws that each player has in his game. And one of them is get your head up. Get your head up. I'll tell you what, Jared, before you go on a dribble, just get your head up. Just have a look really quickly. And he was there. Fornals was there. I don't know what he thought he was going to do. I don't know. Dribble past the 2 defenders, square it. Fornals, I would say 8 out of 10 times most players have scored at, including Fornals, didn't do it. So I didn't blame him for it. I would have been fuming if I was a manager with that. So I don't blame him for being taken off. And obviously Johnson came on in the new formation and played really well on that left. Also, I'm going to mention Dawson again. It won't be the last time I mention him. By the way, a fullback either side of him, it's like a monster. He's an absolute hero. Give that man a cape. Honestly, I just think he's absolutely sensational. So yeah, second half, I thought we were decent, mate. I really did. I thought we were getting into it, had a little bit more control, and Rice was getting into the game by this point as well.
I thought the formation change worked the second half. I was happy with what I was seeing into the second half. We switch formation. We're getting more of the ball. First half, we just couldn't keep any possession. But I think in the second half, I thought we started to control it a little bit. In patches, we didn't dominate Man United or that. We would have 5 minutes of where we were able to push up a little bit, push Man United back. We had bits and pieces in and around the box. We didn't create any chances, but we were starting to impose ourselves on the game. And I thought the substitutions were becoming positive. You know, the Beck will come on and Said Benrahma a bit late, but Said Benrahma come on as well. And I thought we were beginning extra time with a better 11 than we've started the actual match with as well. So did Man United, unfortunately, with Cavani and Bruno Fernandes. But from West Ham, where we were starting it, I thought the shape was looking good. I think it was working for us. Again, we relied on another top save from Fabianski against Marcus Rashford. But that's his job. That's what he's there to do. And we haven't called upon him much this season because of how good the defence has been. Tonight, it got breached a few occasions. And the questions were asked to the goalkeeper, and he stood up to it in every single one of them. And I thought he was absolutely fantastic, Fabianski. You know, going forward, we were just lacking someone with quality. We were getting the ball, we're getting past it to you. You do something. Oh, I can't. You do something. Okay, I'll have a try. Keeper catch the cross, or a defender clears it, or there's a misplaced pass. I mean, both sides were awful for passing tonight. You know, 10-yard passes were going out of play for throw-ins, the other team, and stuff like that. It was a very scrappy game with low quality from both teams on occasions. But come full time, I was feeling okay, Gonzo. I was feeling all right. I was thinking, this is good. You know, we've gone to extra time, 0-0 at Old Trafford. Okay, because at halftime, I wanted to see more bravery from David Moyes, because thought the first half that we were crap. I thought he's got to do something. He did something. He changed it, made a sub, changed the formation. I thought, hello, this is something we've not really seen from him very much. Second half, I thought it was good. Extra time comes along. Man, you get the goal, Gonzo.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really feel sorry for everyone. Actually, I've got to say I don't know how much ground Declan Rice covered, but an awful lot of ground. And, you know, he's dealing with fresh players on the pitch. And I really felt today, actually. I was pleased. Moyes took today seriously. I have no complaints, by the way. No complaints. Even right at the end, he was desperate to win that game, Moyes. I got no complaints. I'm really pleased. Sorry? Absolutely wanted to win that game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, took off someone that was, you know, I don't want to criticise the lad too much, but yeah, absolutely. Moyes. I was worried before the game that Moyes wouldn't want to win that, but he played these two. Well, he tried to play his two best centre halves. Didn't have any centre halves by the end of it, and I felt he realised he got the formation wrong, and he kept on making substitutions to try and win the game and to try and improve things. That's why Benrahma came on, and that's why this, that, and the other. But so I felt, but what I felt did happen, what come on to roost, was a lack of depth in terms of a central midfielder and a striker. I just felt when Rice gave that ball away, he was just knackered. It was a really bad first touch, and they broke on us as well. And they broke on us really well, and we just couldn't clear it. And I felt a bit sorry for Benrahma as well, because realistically, you would have hoped that he'd have noticed McTominay running past him, but he didn't notice. It wasn't really his marker because he'd come from deep, but on other occasions, you might get there, and it was a neat finish. But I thought it was against the run of play somewhat in that second half, and I just thought it was fatigue again. We just looked completely tired, and I feel, I don't think we were outdone by ambition. I think we wanted to win the game. In fact, I felt at the start of that extra time almost like Man United didn't want to be there. I felt they were thinking that, but I think we wanted to win the game. I just felt we were outdone because of fatigue and because of this. We've got too many players in the same position in the squad and not enough in positions when we need them, basically.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think Moyes wanted to win it until Man United scored. And then once Man United scored, I think we stopped. Once it went 1-0, I didn't feel like we wanted to win the game.
It killed us. It knocked the stuffing out of us. I think
I didn't see anything from Moyes to suggest he wanted...
He brought Lanzini on.
For the striker.
Well, come on. I mean, I don't want to...
Yeah, but we continued to play 3 at the back when we were 1-0 down in the cup. I honestly felt like in the second half of extra time we were playing for the 1-0 defeat. We were playing for goal difference in the cup.
No, and he wanted to win the game. I think it knocked the stuffing out of the team. I thought it broke the team's hearts. He had to take the boy off, unfortunately, mate.
Until Man United scored, I would agree with you. But as soon as Man United scored, I didn't feel like Moyes wanted to win that. I think Moyes, I don't know why, I never got that feeling. The substitutions, the way he went, the substitution itself. Odebeko, we'll have to discuss him. Did he do well? No. But He's the striker. We left the defenders on. We're playing like we finished the game with 5 defenders on the pitch, 1-0 down. We were playing for a 1-0 defeat in the cup for the second half of extra time. I would have left Odebeco. I would have put Lanzini on for a defender. I would have gone for it. If you are going to take on Lanzini for the striker, okay, but then put Craig Dawson up front or something. Do something.
Yeah, no, fair. You know, look, fair point. I thought it broke our hearts. That's what happened. The goal broke our hearts. That's what I feel like happens.
Yeah, he took off the striker, put an attacking midfielder. But the problem is we've had nothing up front for 105 minutes. We've had nothing up front. And we continue to have nothing up front for the remaining 15 minutes of it because we didn't do anything to do something. You know, I would have maybe not Craig Dawson up front, but I would have done something. I would have had a Solcheck up front or something. Declan Rice up front and said, just launch the ball. Just keep launching that box for the next 15 minutes. If we lose 3-0, it doesn't matter. We're losing anyway. Go for it. I didn't feel like we did in the second half. I think the second half of extra time, I felt we just stopped. We never got going again. I was waiting for the kitchen sink to get through, and I didn't think we did. I think I think we just stopped. I think
they had nothing left. I thought we were knackered. We couldn't. I thought they were outrun in midfield. We had no more energy left in midfield. I thought we had nothing left. We had no subs to bring on.
Even more reason
to do it more. We had
even more reason to go. Even more reason to start launching in the box or something. Because I agree. I think the boys gave 100%. I think every player gave 100%. I believe they're knackered and stuff, but that's not what I'm disputing. I'm disputing, did we then do enough in the second half of extra time in particular to try and get an equaliser? And I don't think we did. I thought we just sort of allowed Man United to win in the end a little bit. I was a bit disappointed. I was happy with the second half, and up until Man United scored, I was happy with extra time. But the second half of extra time, it was a bit like waiting for us to push the surge button, the big red button that says go for it, and it never come. It didn't come. But anyway, we got beat. What did you make of the game? We kind of gone on, touched upon it a little bit, but
it's just incredibly disappointing. I just felt we lacked quality. I'm fuming, to be honest with you. There's what can I say? I'm just really disappointed that we've got that far and then gone out at that point. And I don't really point no one to. I don't feel there's anyone to point my finger. I'm not going to jump on some. I feel Moyes did take it. I'm not going to go into an anti-Moyes thing for because I don't agree with it anyway. But I do. I don't know. It's just really disappointing, Geo. Really disappointing to go through all that and to get to the end of that not to happen. I just feel we lacked technique. Not fight at all. The way the boys were throwing their bodies in front of a lot of the shots. But I think we got a half decent first team. In fact, a better than decent first team. But we really lack depth, and there's some players that shouldn't be playing anymore. I'm sorry that there are. There's no doubt about it. We really need to bring 5 or 6 players in and I don't mean to challenge Man United, but if we're not going to get to this point where we get into a situation of 2 games a week, and we're not going to end up with that, because it's incredibly slow, and the one quick player we got can't kick a football, and it's really tough, to put a team out like that we saw in the first half with no creativity, with no sparkle, with no endeavour, and then Benrahma comes on, and I wanted to see him earlier. Actually, I actually scribbled it down. Where's Benrahma? Just to bring a little bit of magic and a little bit of flair, but it's almost there's so much pressure on him because everyone else is so, dare I say, slow and a little bit defensive. I think Declan Rice was trying to get forward, by the way. Let's say that, but everyone else is so slow. You almost bring Benrahma on, you're thinking, come on, mate, please rescue something. And it's a guy that hasn't even scored a goal for us. And you're sort of, well, for me personally, I'm pinning all my hopes on him, thinking that's the only place a goal is going to come from. Obviously, the Dawson header from the corner was a big chance. Again, I'm not going to start laying into him because he was, well, I'll tell you now, he was the man of the match today. It was at, whoever it was gave it to Maguire. Maguire wasn't man of the match today. Dawson was. So, just incredible. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. In all honesty, Geo, I don't even want to sit here talking about it, mate. I'm flaming annoyed to sit down and watch that and get so close.
How can you say that Moyes wanted to win it and then say like he picked the wrong team essentially?
Because if he didn't want to, he would have picked. I said it at the start, didn't I? I thought he would have picked Balbuena. He would have played Fredericks at right back. He would have started Johnson at left back. If he didn't want to win it, he would have put out a different. What he did was he wanted to win it, but actually he didn't put enough creativity in there. He got it wrong. He got it wrong tactically, but he wouldn't have played Soufal. He wouldn't have played Souček. He wouldn't have played Declan Rice. If he didn't want to win it, he wouldn't have played those players. And I'll tell you now, he wouldn't have made that. He wouldn't have done that to the lads at the end if he didn't want to. It was. He saw what was happening there, and it wasn't great, to be fair. But he was just trying to do something. So he wouldn't have brought Ben Rama on. Ben Rama will be part of the team against Sheffield United. I think Ben Rama's starting all the games. He tried to win it. He was found wanting basically today.
I think I can see both sides of the coin here. Part of me is looking at the starting 11, thinking, well, where was Said Ben Rama from the start? Where was the pace and stuff? Where was the game plan in that? And there wasn't one, because Yarmolenko not working. I mean, everybody knew that wasn't going to work. Like I said, when 90% of the fan base says something, generally there's something there. You can't take the fan base. We're just football fans. We're not football experts like David Moyes is and stuff. We're football fans, but so you can't take our opinion, blah, blah, blah. But when 90% are saying the same thing, I think there must be something in it. So when 90% are saying Yarmolenko can't play up front against Man United, tends to be something in it. And I think they were proven right with the first half performance, and nothing was happening. I feel a bit sorry for Yarmolenko. It was the wrong game to play him as striker. We were asking him to do a role suited and suited only for Michail Antonio. The first half of the season, when Antonio was missing, we struggled because we put a striker in there and Sebastian Haller and said, do what Antonio does, and he can't. Tonight, we put Yarmolenko in there and said, can you do what Antonio does, please? Well, no, he can't. And that comes down to the manager, unfortunately. However, at half-time, this is the other side of me, at half-time, he rectified that. He thought, okay, I'm going to change it now. I'm going to go to 3 at the back. And it started to suit every player on the pitch. It suited Mark Noble more because he had less running around to do. It suited Yarmolenko more because Fernandez got a bit closer to him. And I thought we played better in the second half. I thought we played good in the second half. I was happy at full-time. Up until Man United scored, again, happy. After that, I was a bit disappointed. And I don't want to keep going on. I don't want to keep going on about the January transfer window, but unfortunately we have to in this occasion, because it's a lack of striker and options that's let us down tonight, I feel. I feel we've been let down tonight by not having an alternative for Michail Antonio. Well, we do. It's Yarmolenko. But not investing in a striker in January, which was the manager's choice. He has confirmed since then that the money was there and he chose not to spend it. Well, that comes down to David Moyes. You chose not to buy a striker. Well, that's okay. But your plan B for no Antonio better work. We've seen it tonight. It's not worked. In fact, it is what everybody expected. Yarmolenko in a Michail Antonio shaped hole. It was never going to work. And this is where 8 days after the transfer window, everybody's fear of Antonio getting injured is here. We've just witnessed it. And it's not good. Would you fancy us beating Leicester with that team? Would you fancy us beating Everton with that team? No. Would we give 100%? Oh, I think so. Absolutely. All the boys gave 100% tonight. I think Yarmolenko gave 100%. He's just not good enough. It just doesn't work in there. And I don't want to keep going on about Giants transfer window. People will say, we'll get over it. And I'm trying, but it's difficult because tonight I feel we would have had a better effort should we had on a striker to put in there that would suit the system a bit better. And it's just frustrating. You know, there is a bigger picture at play here, and I'm calmer than I would normally be, because normally, like I said, the FA Cup season's over now. Let's pack up and go home, see you in August. It's not now. We've got the league to concentrate on. But it's a frustrating and disappointing night. That's all, Gonzo.
Yeah, I can't say more than that, mate. It was the second thing I said, mate. I think we're let down by our lack of midfield cover and our striker cover. He's going to need to. There's only two. Well, there's 3 more opportunities, aren't there? There's either Lingard, there's either Bowen, or there was the other one I was thinking of, or Ben Rama. But that's that one of those better be able to play as a centre forward. Otherwise, we're in a bit of trouble, really. Well, it's not in trouble. We're not in trouble at all. It's just the season will fizzle out.
Individual performers.
Well, Dawson was fantastic. Really pleased. You know, I mean, just Was a hero, and we took them. That was not an easy game for them, and it wasn't an easy game for them last time. And I'll tell you what, that game may cost them. Last time they played us, it cost them. They went out of the Champions League. That game may cost them. That extra time, they don't need that with double header against Sociedad coming up. That being said, we keep battling bravely and losing against them. So. It was a shame because I really do feel, and I wrote it down there, I wrote down Man United don't want to be here. And I could see it. I could see it in like their players. There was no sparkle. Even from Fernandes when he came on, Greenwood, Rashford, all these players, they had no sparkle to them. Actually, they were there. I think they're for the taking. That's maybe a bit harsh. They got good players there. They really do. But there was an opportunity there, and I feel it was an opportunity missed. I finding it hard with the players because I do think they probably did what they were asked to do in that first half, and actually probably was the plan to get there to half time at 0-0 and then to bring on gradually the more attacking players. I'm sure that would have been Moyes' plan. So did Fornells do his job? Yes. Did he really provide anything? Not really. But then again, I can't stop thinking about that Bowen incident where I would like to be, if I was criticising Fornells now, had Bowen and passed it to him and he'd have missed that, fair enough. But he got into that position. Go on, mate.
Fornells, he messed up our biggest chance of the game. We had a 3-on-2. He had Rice on the left and Meepo on the right. And he went. Not only did the defender intercept it, he went for the wrong option. Why would you go for your defensive midfielder?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. I couldn't believe it, and I don't particularly want to go. I couldn't believe Odebeko was jogging at that point.
He's holding his line.
No, he should have gone straight away. He should have gone if he'd have sprinted immediately. Right, basically they were allowing the defence to back off. He should have gone bang straight away. And I think Fornells was waiting for him to go, waiting, and he sort of didn't. He sort of broke into this jog, and in the end, Rice overtook him, and then Rice was, and it went the wrong way. But I think it's up to that point for a striker or whoever. By the nature and the fierceness of their run, to demand. I wanted to back and say, I want this, and he should have been up there. His hand up, going to net it now, and he jogged, and it wasn't the first time, and it wasn't going to be the last time that he did that as well. And actually, I can't remember the word that the commentator used. It wasn't lethargic, but it was. It gave the impression that he had. Look, Moyes has got a mantra. He didn't sprint enough today. He really didn't. And I think, and I don't want to go too hard. I felt you'd have to have a heart of stone not to feel sorry for that poor lad on the bench when he got taken off. Even when the camera panned to him, I even said in the thing, don't film him. Don't film him. Don't pan the camera to him. He's going to need to, and I just wonder if he was trying to play within himself or something. But that energy, that burst of energy, that's the bit I scribbled down there. I thought, sprint. I was shouting, sprint. Why is he jogging? Sprint. And I thought he was almost trying to be too cautious. And then the next two occasions, he was sort of jogging again. So that's what I think happened on that bit.
I thought he was holding his line because in the first half we saw Yarmolenko at one point standing about 5 yards offside, and the Soufal was running around the middle of the pitch going, who can I pass to? Who can I pass to? Ended up just flicking it towards Yarmolenko anyway. And then in the second half, there was an incident. I know this happened after. It was an extra time. Ben Rama skinned a couple of players and played through to Solchek. But Solchek had already ran. He was 2 yards offside and stuff. I think Meepo was holding his line. I'm going to give him benefit down. In the end, when Fornells did pass it, he had Meepo and Rice in a line with Man United's two centre-backs, and he's sitting back. But that's the equivalent of Ndombele running forward with Kane on one side and Højbjerg on the other, and trying to play in Højbjerg. You've got to go for your striker anyway. It was just, I couldn't believe he'd done it because Man U gifted us that opportunity. They literally passed to Fernandes and said, there you go. It was a rare attack, and I just thought, oh no, it's another one where we've just messed it up. It's got to the crunch point where we need that little bit of quality, and we just don't have it. We don't have the composure, and we don't have the quality. It's just frustrating. If I was Moyes, I'd have been wanting to run on the pitch and shake Pablo Fernandes and say, son, what are you doing? This is Old Trafford. You get one of them a game. You've messed it up. It was just frustrating. As for Odebeko, as you said, you've got to be gutted for the boy. He comes on, and I don't think he was good. I'm not going to sit here and say, it was harsh, you got taken off. I think it was harsh, you got taken off, but he wasn't good. He didn't do enough. There was no runs. You know, and a couple of times the ball come into him. It was quite easy to get the ball off him. I thought he had a couple of nice touches, but nothing. Wow, look at this boy. He didn't look like a wonder kid, if we should call it that. But I'll tell you what, I didn't think he was worse than Yarmolenko. I didn't really see anything that Yarmolenko did that he didn't do. And I thought, you know, he's 18. I often say when we do man and match and stuff, I say to you, you need context here for this player because of this, blah, blah. And I think with the same with Meepo, you need a bit of context here where it's tough. It's tough for him. It's a big occasion. He's 18 years old. And when he got taken off, he looked broken. He looked heartbroken. And I just thought, oh, no, because we've got a lack of striker options. And let's just say you were discarding Yarmolenko and you ran through the options earlier. Well, I think you can discard Odemenko as well, not just because of his performance, because any confidence the boy did have, I think is gone. I think you've just shattered it. And I would have left him on, even if it was just to protect him to some extent. And I think we've just shattered him a little bit. But like I said, I understand why Moyes has done it, because he wasn't imposing himself in the game or anything like that. And there was a couple of times the ball did come in. He wasn't really where he should have been. He was too close to the crosser, trying to get involved in the build-up play a little bit. And I thought, no, mate, you're a striker, just stay in the box with you. Other performers, I thought Ben Johnson was superb when he come on. I thought he was brilliant going down that left-hand side. You know, he's really getting forward. He's probably our best attacking player, Ben Johnson. Just taking players on, getting his head up, trying to cross it in a couple of times, and Henderson come and caught them, but you could see him looking up saying, well, someone get in there. You know, the ball's good. It's just that no one's there. Get in the box.
Well, just to interrupt you there, mate. There's a lesson there for Odemenko, by the way, is Ben Johnson. David Moyes has hauled Ben Johnson off after, 25 minutes before, something like that, when he was absolutely getting skinned. And he's clearly gone away and asked him to learn, and he's come back, and now you feel that David Moyes trusts him. So there is a precedent there as well. And I can't remember who it is. Also, he's also subbed off a sub before as well, Dave. I tell you what, for a man that don't like substitutes, crikey, he was doing well today, wasn't he, Moisey?
He was utilising his 5.
He's, yeah, we did 6. It was 6 at the end. Was he 6?
Yeah, because you get one for concussion.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing, by the way. I'd like to touch on that. I don't think they're implementing the concussion law correctly. What is it called?
It was a bit iffy.
The SIS. I said it against Crystal Palace, if you remember. We had the double concussion. You remember, had all the sets of physios on. And I don't feel they're implementing it this time. Martial had a hematoma on his head. I mean, they're not implementing. They can't do both. They can't spin out all these platitudes that they're taking dementia seriously and they're going to implement all these things to counteract concussion and then don't apply the new laws that they've corrected just because they want to win a game. You need to take these players, and I mean both of them there, by the way, not to advantage West Ham, I mean both of them in a head collision. They need to take them off and they need to assess it properly. For Diop to have played on in that game for another 10-15 minutes only to then be taken off for precautionary concussion is, you don't have to take my word for it. Look at the research. That is really dangerous. I mean, he could have actually sustained permanent damage by doing that. They need to really sort that out.
Thank you to Fluffy Python. He's popped a tenner into the full-time fund. So disappointing result, but cheered up by you guys. Keep up the good work and have a good.
We cheered him up.
Must be us arguing. Must be us arguing or something. I think it must be us arguing anyway.
Thank you.
Right, we'll start wrapping this up because we've been going for half an hour. It's a long one tonight, actually, because there's a lot to discuss when we're disagreeing. So it always lasts longer when we disagree. Give me another individual performer and then your final thoughts. Because we didn't really go into the players too much. So pick out one more, anyone, and then just give me your final thoughts.
Let's see. All right, so I've picked out Yarmolenko, haven't I? Probably Aaron Cresswell. I know he changed formation. I just would have. I felt he really tried today. I would have liked to have seen him sort of get involved more. And the reason is it's not really his fault. But when you're looking at Noble and Rice and Souček, who are not creating at this point, and neither's Fornals, and Bowen's having a shocker, and it shouldn't be this way. But I'm looking at Aaron Cresswell to provide the the creativity, and it shouldn't be that way, Geo. Right? Someone else shouldn't do it. Just there were chances were few and far between today, and you sort of needed that quality. And I think I'll look at that, and I'll look at the Dawson header, and I'll look at Bowen in particular, that particular chance, which is, I think that's bothered me as much as the Fornals incident has bothered you. And I'll look at things like that and I think, opportunity missed. Mate, it's just, sometimes not nearly. Sometimes we would have gone out to Stockport in previous rounds. It is just incredibly frustrating to watch that, and you allow yourself to dream, and I even mean just during the natural progression of the game, you allow yourself to think, oh, okay, penalties, and I'm sure if I was doing it, everyone's doing it. You're thinking in your head, oh, he'll take one. He's keeping Noble on so he can take a pen. And you're thinking all these things in your head. And then it sort of gets snatched away by a goal like that, which is, I can't blame them. I cannot blame Declan Rice. I mean, he was almost in the right wing position. He lost. It was fatigue. I feel sorry for him. I really do. I really do. But not a bad day at the office. They all did whatever was asked of them for more than 90 minutes. What else can you say?
I think the poor performers have let the good performers down a little bit tonight. I think, I thought, Dawson was fantastic. Fabianski had his best game for a long, long time tonight. I thought Sufal was okay. I thought Creswell was okay. Not a bad game, not a good game. Yeah, they were just okay. I thought Rice and Souček were again both okay. I would have liked to have seen more of Souček, if I'm honest. I felt like Moyes got the Noble role right. I thought Noble played good tonight. I thought Noble was quite good tonight. And it was pleasing to see Souček almost in the number 10 position at points. But he didn't really get forward enough to be a number 10. So he was almost like in a centre midfield position. But then we didn't dominate centre midfield for him to be in the centre midfield. So I would have liked to have seen Souček pushed up a little bit more. Bowen, I would have left him on longer. I don't think he was playing well, but I would have left him on longer, and I would have hooked Fornals at half time. But with the change of shape, I understand why he took Bowen off. But again, I would have probably left Bowen on to put him up front with Yarmolenko and said, right, let's go for it. Let's get two up top. Fornals is just works hard, but crikey, he's frustrating. He is extremely frustrating. I thought the subs were good. I thought Ben Rama was hot and cold throughout his spell when he come on. Looked good 1 minute, and then at one point he fell over the ball and sat on it. Fredericks was decent enough, got forward well. Johnson I thought was brilliant. Like I said, it's just good performances tonight, but let down by poor decision making by the players that played poor. And I think Moyes' tactics in the first half were just wrong, but he rectified it. Then I don't know, if you just anyone but Declan making an individual error. If that was Fornals or something, he'd be getting caned by sort of fan base and stuff. But Rice he makes a mistake, but then we had an opportunity to rectify. The guy had a 70-odd yard run to do in order to get into the box. And when it did come in, there was 2 or 3 defensive headers that we did and stuff like that. So I think we had an opportunity to save Declan Rice's arse a little bit, but we didn't. It's frustrating. The one thing I'm clinging to, Gonzo, is that the league's still there. There's still something. We can still go get European football. Like I said, normally at this stage of the season, say in August kind of thing, it's not there yet, but it does put a heck of a lot of pressure onto the Sheffield United one. We need to bounce back. We need to get the 3 points. We need to give the fans a bit of hope and a bit of belief, because tonight, when I was watching it, I thought, man, you were there for a taking. I thought a little bit of quality, a little bit of something, an inspired sub, an inspired tactic, a clever set piece routine, which we didn't have. We just had the old cross it and hope kind of thing. We're lacking something. And Man United were as well. And then we just didn't take advantage of it. And what's worse is, Sheffield United beat a similar team a couple of weeks ago. And I think Man United will lose to a team below West Ham in the league in the next 5 or 6 league games. Someone will beat them. They're not invincible. This isn't Man City. This isn't Liverpool, despite the league positions. This is not Liverpool. He was trying to rest Bruno Fernandes. Had we gone 1-0 up, 2-0 up, Ollie might have thought, bugger it, I'm not putting those players on. I'll just leave this, actually. You can have the win. Good luck in the next round. I'm not going to put my top players on. Frustrating. Missed opportunity, but not the end of the world, is how I'd perhaps summarise it, Gonzo.
Yeah. Look.
Hammer of the match. We can do a hammer of the match.
Well, we do hammer of the match. I'll tell you now. I'll tell you now. Player ratings, I'm probably going to give my lowest score ever to a player.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. I'm furious with someone, actually.
Who's your hammer of the match, though?
Dawson.
Okay, I'm going to give mine to Fabianski. I thought Fabianski was unbelievable. Okay. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, please drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'll be back Saturday probably with a preview. We've got a while till the next game. We've got 6 days. Hopefully, our only striker will be fit by then. Join us on Saturday night as we preview the Sheffield United game. Gonzo, I'll see you in a bit.
You will.